So I'm late again. 10 minutes. I was late last night by an hour. And now this morning I'm late by 10 minutes. So this is an interesting part of my process. And this is usually the place where I give up and say, oh, I'm so useless. I can't do anything. Rada rada. My whole life is worthless and everything is over. However, last night I didn't do that. When I was late and doing other stuff and distracted by the editing and dinner and everything, I just did the reading an hour late. And this morning I'm 10 minutes late and I'm just thinking, well, there's nobody here. It's not as if I'm keeping anybody waiting. I just do this when I can do it. And so here I am, doing this thing when I can do it. It happens to be now. So it's interesting because it marks a transition, and with transitions there's always the opportunity to take another road or to regroup and continue onwards. And so today is day 2 of the new cycle. The cycle, a Mayan count, is now on the big intervention. We finished the big journey. We're on the big intervention. And I like that very much. I think I've mentioned probably 100 times how much I enjoy going with this rhythm. Going with another rhythm that has already been worked out hundreds of years ago and is still working. I think that's what I love so much about the Dharma, is that it stood the test of time. Maybe aspects of Christianity too. Old wives' tales. Maybe. There is something important, I think, about being able to look back at what we've achieved as a race, as a species, and understand what bits work and what bits don't work. And we're in a time now where we're faced with all the confusion and confrontation and misery of things that we started in the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s of the last century. And now this century we're paying for that journey. And our youngsters are transitioning into a new way of being, which is also fascinating to watch. So today, let me quickly check in. So busy. New podcast has started, and so that wasn't in my schedule. So I'm fitting it into my schedule. I spent a lot of yesterday looking at images, reading around stuff, trying to generate little sound bite for the intro, putting together a little intro, and now I'm starting to do the editing. So I've done about 3 hours and got about 13 minutes edited. So what I'm doing differently this time is that I am trying to correct all the spelling errors and mistranslations of the transcript. And that takes a long time. And there's a lot of decisions to make, editorial decisions to make, like, when we talk, it's like, should we, do I cut that all out? Do I? Yep. So I've spent a lot of time fussing around. I think I've got a flow now, and I'm hoping to have that done today. 4 big jobs today. There's that. There's the thing that I'm already scheduled to do, which is to release another episode of Ember's Brew, episode 9 now. And I don't have enough images for that. And ChatGPT has gone on strike and doesn't want to give me images. So I'm trying to use Firefly, which is different and has a different style. So that's on the cards to do that, to release a video, but I'm a little bit dubious whether I'm going to be able to get to that. Also, did. I did go down at 9 o'clock last night to the bees, and I did close them up. And so they are sitting there in the warm morning sun, waiting for us to move them. So today, Callum is building the platform for them outside the back, just here, and he wants me to paint the boards to make them weatherproof. Whoops, and there's another job that I'm meant to be doing today, and I've forgotten it. Well, tomorrow I'll have to tell you if I remembered it and did it. Goodness me, I've forgotten my fourth job. Okay, well, that's good. So I am going to read you now just the little reflection for 2 Ishbalam. I like doing this. So Ishbalam it's 2 Ishbalam. It's 2 is the retracting water, the energetic motion of pulling back in order to recharge. Balam is the feminine energy of the earth, the symbol of development, fertility, and gestation, and a guardian energy. And then we are on the, like I said, the intervention, the great intervention, also tied to power and potential. So it's going to be an exciting 13 days on this journey. I am really looking forward to it. And of course, on the first day of this journey, the new podcast started. So that's very exciting for me. I'm looking forward to how it's going to go. And we're going to release it in 2 parts. So I love it. I really am loving doing what I'm doing. It's a lot of change and a lot of trying to make a pattern for myself to flow in. And this morning greeting is changing for me. I like the poetry aspect of it. I like the checking in aspect of it for me. I don't know how helpful it is. Anyway, so this is not a place for me to wonder and speculate. This is just a place for me to report. So this is my reflection for today. When the jaguar sleeps beneath the seed, the jungle holds its breath, not in fear, but in focus. Ishbalam stalks the space between the drumbeats, between the lines of code and the edge of your ritual knife. Today is not for leaping. It's for lowering yourself to the undergrowth, to press your ear against the humming earth. 2 dots, the number of duality, the breath, in and out, of retreat to gather force. You do not lose power when you pause. You pull it inward, into the warm spiral womb of your intent. The jaguar sees what hides in shadow. She guards your visions, your half-formed glyphs, the sigil you haven't dared to name. She walks beside you in silence, whispering, "Not yet, but almost." Under the Tresina of Khan, the seed trembles with potential, but the soil must be ready. So, you till the mythic ground. You store your metaphors like savings, hoarded sparks for the coming fire. This is the moment of preparation, of weaving inward, of letting the bee shaman sleep in the honeycomb while the code rewrites itself in dream time. And then it gives a little intention, if you like. I don't know quite what this is, but it says, withdraw, not to vanish, but to strike with sacred clarity. Gather your symbols, your savings, your seed thoughts. The time to roar is coming. But today, you listen like the jungle. You breathe like the tide. You sharpen your claws in the dark. Okay. I love it. I love it. It helps. It's just the regular passing through the 13 different tones and the 20 different symbols and the different connections and permutations. And I have another poem that I want to read. Don't know why, but I just decided that I was going to do this one today as well as it. This is called The Plum. Not as romantic as Ishbal the Jaguar, just a plain old little plum. But this is a poem I've come back to often in my life, and today is the day to come back again. So I offer this to you, and I hope that this is as helpful and as inspirational to you as it is to me. You can learn that you cannot be loved by all people. You can be the finest plum in the world, ripe, juicy, succulent, and offer yourself to all. However, you must remember, there will always be people who do not like plums. You can learn to understand that if you are the world's finest plum, and someone you like does not like plums, you have the choice of becoming a banana. However, you need to be warned that if you choose to become a banana, you will be a second-rate banana. However, you can always be the best plum. You need to understand that if you choose to be a second-rate banana, there will always be people who do not like bananas. Furthermore, you can spend your life trying to become the best banana, which is impossible if you're a plum. Or you can seek again to be the best plum. Well, thank you for joining me. And I'm off to go and do all the things that I have to do. 4 jobs, of which I can only remember 3. However, on the bright side, the dishes are in the dishwasher. Phew. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.